So this would be the story session, and you will be sharing the predictions or any analysis of the story.
हाँ,
So
जो astrological symbolism है, I'll talk about that. So the many stories of Ashwini Kumaras. So this is the birth, how they are born.
ठीक है, मतलब ये स्टोरी काफी वियर्ड ही है स्टार्टिंग से ही.
हाँ, आई थिंक स्टोरीज का भी एक मेंशन कर देते हैं क्योंकि दी स्टोरीज आर मेड सो दैट बच्चों को भी इंटरेस्ट आए, बड़े लोगों को कुछ सीक्रेट नॉलेज मिले. That's how the rishis have made the story. So before going into the story, I'll talk about that, how the stories are made. सारी स्टोरी ऐसी मिलेंगी तुमको, बहुत ही विचित्र, एक भी स्टोरी नॉर्मल नहीं होगी. एंड तो बच्चा सुनेगा वाह ऐसा हुआ, वो घोड़ा बन गया, वो ये हो गया, उसको मजा आएगा, और बड़े लोग को उसका सिंबॉलिज्म मिलता है. ठीक है,
हाँ, तो मतलब
let's start.
स्टोरी का जो स्टार्टिंग ही काफी विचित्र है इसमें. तो
हाँ.
इसमें संज्ञा was the daughter of Vishwakarma and was married to Surya. Then she lacked the power to put up with the fierce heat of Surya. And then she once went into the forest to perform tapas after creating her chaya form to serve her husband. And then Sangya left her three sons, Manu, Yama, and Yami, also in the charge of chaya. Surya took her to be his wife and started living with her. और उसको पता भी नहीं चलता है. And then Chaya once got angry at Yama and cursed him. And that's when Surya got to know that how can a mother curse her own child. And that's when Surya got to know that maybe Chaya is not. And then his suspicion started.
Yeah.
And then Surya then called Sangya and then asked her, how is this possible? Then she stayed silent. Actually, he was talking to Chaya. Then Chaya stayed silent, and then Surya said that how could she curse her own son? And then Sangya shared the whole story. Sorry, not Sangya, Chaya shared the whole story.
Yeah.
And then Surya felt very sad at this separation from his wife, and he closed his eyes, and by the power of his meditation, he got to know that Sangya was doing tapas in the forest in the guise of a mare, with the intention to reduce his heat. And then Surya went to Vishwakarma, father of Sangya, and requested him to reduce his heat. After having done so by Vishwakarma's blessing, he assumed the form of a horse again and went to meet Sangya in the forest. And they stayed there for a while. There, from the mare, obviously they mated, and the two Kumaras, whom we call as Ashwini Kumara and Revanta, was born. The Ashwini Kumaras were named Satya and Dasra. And Surya became very happy with with Sandhya, blessed her with boons. She asked blessing for her son Manu to get the highest position, Yama to be free of the curse, and Yami to bless the earth as river.
Let's take it bit by bit. So the names are very interesting. The names also have symbolism, and all the events and everything has a symbolic meaning. So Sangya in Sanskrit means alertness. So of course it means a noun, but it also means alertness. So Ashwini Kumaras are born out of that energy. Something new is being started. So when you are starting something new, you have that fresh, alert energy. So anyone who has a prominent Ashwini will have that kind of energy. And the names of the Ashwini Kumaras, Satya and Dashra. So Dashra means fierce. So they have a very fierce energy, and his son is also very fierce, right? So Satya, so they're very straightforward and fierce personality. अभी क्या हो रहा है कि Sangya goes to the forest to meditate, to go away from the heat of the sun. Now she's taking the form of a horse. Why?
Yes.
She could have taken a form of anything, right? To get
Yes.
away. So again, that is done to show the symbolism. So the Ashwini Kumaras are born with the head of a horse, and they have a body of a human. That's how they are shown. So horse is, as we know, a very quick moving, So that's again symbolic. These people love to move very fast. They think very fast. They're quick on their head, and these people you will see race car drivers having Ashwini Nakshatra, a lot of them. And even if they're not into that kind of profession, even when they're driving, they drive very fast. So I have like two friends with prominent Ashwini, and they love to drive very fast. I have a school friend, and जब भी हम लोग जाते थे उसकी बाइक पे, तो 80 से 120 की स्पीड में वो चलाता था, मतलब उससे कम चलाएगा ही नहीं. So that's the horse symbolism coming. Another friend has the same thing, but he has some rough planets there. So now last year he met with an accident because he was driving very fast. So then you predict the good and bad outcome of that. Luckily, he was saved, but the car totally got crushed. But these people just have that thing. So it is also the nakshatra of air element. So that horse, air, moving fast thing is there.
So I would like to start with the introduction. So the story of Ashwini Kumaras and their birth were mentioned in the Mahabharat's Anushasana Parva.
So that's where we have taken it from. इसमें second section जो है, so Surya is shown that he closes his eyes and he figures out where his wife is, right? So he has these siddhis. So that's another symbolism that is there. So these people can have a lot of siddhis. So of course other combinations should meet. So I remember another chart. This person has Ketu in Ashwini in the 12th house, right? So Ketu is the natural ruler of Ashwini, and Ketu is also symbolic of Siddhis, and 12th house of course brings Siddhis. So this person can see ghosts and spirits. मतलब उसको she can see dead people, spirits, and she can see a lot of other dead people. So that kind of thing can come from there. A lot of possibilities there.
But why did this weird story take place to explain the nature of Ashwini? मतलब ऐसा एक कैरेक्टर को उठा के उनका बस क्वालिटीज बोल सकते थे. Why did they have to create this story, this weird story to talk about Ashwini Nakshatra?
If you just say कि ये qualities है, it doesn't register in your mind. You will forget after some while. So the rishis were very deep in, very expert in psychology. So they knew कि when you listen a story, it stays with you for a long time. So now you will remember the story even after many years because it's so weird. You will remember कि she
It
turned
makes
into a
sense.
horse, and and they made, as I said in the beginning, they made it for all level of people. So when a kid listens to it, he'll be very interesting in all the things that are happening. कि हाँ वो घोड़ी बन गई, फिर वो जंगल चली गई, and for all level of people, there is some level of knowledge. There is a spiritual knowledge in this. There is astrological knowledge. So in the same story, they're packing so much stuff. That's how all these stories are.
And what would you comment on the love of Surya and Sandhya?
वो जब हम सूर्य पे आएंगे तब probably we'll talk about it. So right now I want to talk more about the Ashwini Kumaras. So one of the, so each nakshatra is given a Shakti. So the Shakti that is given to Ashwini Kumars is Siddha Vyapani Shakti. That Siddha means protection. So wherever Ashwini is in the chart, there will be a lot of protection, a lot of blessings, a lot of miracles are happening. So in the end of the story, we see when the Ashwini Kumaras are born, then Surya blesses everyone, right? His kids, Manu gets the highest position, Yama gets free of the curse, and Yami becomes Yamuna, then she starts flowing on the earth. So that reminds me of the example that we were talking yesterday, right? So this person was working with the NGO and he was getting some 10-15,000. I'll repeat that because it's relevant here. And so he applied for a fellowship in Netherlands and he did not have money to go. So his boss funded the whole trip, and when he reached there, the company offered him a job of 1 lakh rupees, and then he got that job also, and then he after that immediately got married also, which he was trying for many years. I mean, it's a coincidence that he also got three blessings. The
All
story
at
also
once.
has
Oh.
three blessings. Yeah. But in general, blessings are there, protection is there when this nakshatra is active.
Mhm.
So, of course, there are a lot of other stories of Ashwini where they are, so they are called the healers. So
Mhm.
we'll see those stories later on where they go around doing a lot of miracles. Uh, but these are the main takeaways from these stories.
So we can summarize that takeaway. First
Okay.
is you
Uh,
will have blessing in your life if Ashwini Nakshatra is active.
yeah, and if planet should be strong, it should be well placed.
Okay.
But generally, if planets are strong, they will give good results. But here, the results are happening suddenly out of the blue, like a miracle. So that
Mhm.
flavor will be there.
Okay.
Mm.
And what is the second takeaway?
Uh, if they can give a lot of siddhis.
Okay. So
Mm.
have you ever known anybody who had siddhis because of the Ashwini Nakshatra? Or
I
it's just
told about
the theories?
I told about the girl. No? She can see, she can access the other world. She can see the spirits.
So was Ashwini Nakshatra active in her chart in a good way?
So yeah, Ketu in Ashwini in 12th. So all three are significators, karakatvas of siddhis.
Okay, so first is blessing, and if it is in a good position, and
Uh,
second is the siddhis, the one can
yeah,
get from
yeah.
Ashwini Nakshatra. Okay, and we can talk more about Ashwini Nakshatra ka healing powers.
Healing will we can take up another video. So there are a lot of stories where they heal a lot of people in very interesting ways. But in general, if there are other combinations that support healing in the chart, and those planets or those houses are active with Ashwini, then they can become healers also.
Okay.
Hmm.
So there's one thing, Shakti and Chikitsak.
Chikitsak is the healer thing. Shakti is what I talked about. Each nakshatra has a Shakti. So here it's Shidra Vyapani, Siddra Vyapani, which is protection. A lot of protective energy is there.
Okay. And
And the,
I just
uh, yeah,
wanted to know, Surya took a form of a horse.
yeah.
So can you emphasize more on their union of Surya in a form of horse and Sandhya in a form of horse?
So at a mental level, horse, the head is shown as the horse head. So head is always how you think. That's what they are trying to convey. And so they are very quick thinkers. They'll क्या बोलते हैं इंग्लिश
Can
में.
we call it impulsive as well? If
They
it is
can
not.
be impulsive. They can be very impatient with other people who are not able to catch up with their thinking speed. You know, and they can get angry also. Uh, Quick on their head. That's what they say, I think, in English, right? And
Mhm.
at a physical level, as I said, they can be into moving fast, driving fast, and all that.